up, Baidi? Welcome to Vientiane, Laos. This is the capital city, the largest city. We're right on the border with Thailand, and wow, I love this city already. Spoiler alert, I think the next month is going to be fantastic. Now, truth be told, I was only planning on spending 7 to 10 days in Laos, but there's so much to see and do here. I think we might use up the full 30 days. All right, here we go. We rented this bike for $150, which I don't think at all is the best price. There are a lot of big, expensive SUVs here and other cars, and that's because although Laos is technically, you know, a communist country, I think it's more socialist. There's a lot of foreign investment, and you can see it here in the last few years. A lot of new buildings. China built a high-speed train, and I think they've also invested quite a bit of other things. And so, at least here in the city, you can see new money. Like, there are people here, with a lot of money. Look at this, we're gonna go through it. Guys, we were actually planning to come see this afterwards, but should we see this now? You can see that they've got the fountain on. This is awesome. We didn't see any of this because we've just been walking around, but they have this little fountain here, and that is gorgeous. And then they've got motorcycle parking. Awesome. This is a war monument, and I'm gonna take a look at my notes because I have been trying to keep notes on everything here since in the last videos, people have been saying that they enjoy the background information. I do too, but I can't remember it, so I take notes. Oh, you can see right here, it says China Aid for a Shared Future. So as I said, there's a lot of Chinese investment here. Now, this is in Lao and Chinese, so we can't read any of it, but certainly this is help here for this, and I'll explain a little bit about this. But China has been involved in helping Lao. Oh, and if you look at the top, you can see people. That's Alan over there. I think this is actually the palace, but it's not open for the public. Sometimes I make big mistakes in travel and skip things. And I almost thought we didn't need to come here to the Patuxai monument, and that would have been a huge mistake because on YouTube, it does not look that impressive. But this place is actually really, I feel overwhelmed by it. Maybe it's the music, it's the fountain show, but this is stunning. It is so hot right now, so I'm going to try to get out of the sun a little bit, go underneath, and then also figure out, can we go to the top? Because it's supposed to have amazing views of the city. Oh, it looks like you can go to the top now. So this was closed for a while, but now you can go to the top. Very cool. So to get in, to go to the top, it's 5,000 for a local and 30,000 for a foreigner. So I tried to ask them when it was reopened, but here in the city, even in the capital city, not a lot of people speak English. We have been getting by with Google Translate very easily, but learned a lesson that not everyone here is Lao. So actually there are a number of different ethnic groups. In the city, there are a lot of Vietnamese, and that's because during French occupation, Vietnamese were actually encouraged to move here. I think they said in 1943, more than half the population was Vietnamese. So this is called the Victory Monument. Looks like they made a little bit of a museum. This building is gorgeous. I mean, there's the museum part, but the restoration they've done here is amazing. And of course, you know, this is my favorite section right here. They have they have a little bit about what a common Lao meal would be. Lao cuisine, it says, is similar to Thai, but it's more bitter, sour, spicy. I can't wait to eat all of this. This is pretty impressive. I think it's why everything was closed, and absolutely worth it. Just a really beautiful way to make this a destination. More to see rather than just like, oh, there's the Victory Arch, and that's it. Or as we should say, since it's post-1993, Patuxai. So these are the 5 towers. Each one represents a Buddhist virtue. You've got the 4 corners and then one here in the middle. We can't go inside, but you can see all of the various detail. So beautiful. And then at the top, They have all of the little sparkly kind of pieces and things that I don't know about Buddhism. Just so much detail here. Oh, and it looks like you can go up even further. Wow. Yes, there's more stairs. Look at all that detail up there. And there's one more set of stairs to go to the very top here. We made it to the top. Now, it's just like a little clock tower with some ironwork Buddha on each window. And it does have a really great view of the city. This is, I think, either the tallest or one of the tallest buildings in Vientiane. I love this place. They did a really great job. Now we're gonna get back on the bike and head to our next spot. So it looks like Laos is another country where you don't actually get the gas yourself. They do it for you. And even though they didn't speak English, we don't speak Lao, we just showed them the number of bills to put in and he said, okay, fine. We're just getting 20,000 because we're not going very far today. So that's not bad at all. It'll cost about us $1 to get around, which is less than taking taxis or tuk-tuks all day. One thing I have noticed about this city is there's not a lot of traffic. I don't know if the population is so low, but even in the core, you know, you're gonna see those big SUVs that I talked about, and there's some people on motorbikes, but in general, this is not like a really loud city. Have not heard anyone honk their horn. It's so nice. This is just a really nice city, and I heard it's a big expat population, and I can understand why. So we've made it to the Golden Stupa. I don't know if this is the official entrance or the tour entrance, but when we drove in, I just asked the ice cream guy, like pointed at a motorbike, and he said, okay, come right here. So, because it's so hot out and we love ice cream, Alan said before we go in, we gotta get an ice cream from this guy. So that's what we're gonna do. It is definitely at least 40 Celsius right now. It is hot. Oh, durian, coconut? Coconut. And durian. It's coconut and durian. He surprised me with durian. Oh, good. It's really good. You'll love it.
Hello.
Hello, I want one too.
Oh, perfect.
What's your overall first impression of Vientiane?
It's a good hospitality.
Yeah.
People are good and kind. Especially for me because we are same race, Asian, and they feel me, especially like a brother with them.
Yeah.
Same culture. I mean, in the same energy, something like that.
Yeah. A lot of probably what I never realized, never experienced as a white woman traveling, is that people get treated differently in different countries. So I have certainly had the privilege and misfortune, actually, of seeing Alan get treated differently in different places. Everywhere we go, they think they don't think you're Indonesian. And I think mostly it's because a lot of Indonesians don't travel up here, but not only because of you being Asian, but also because you're not like super white Asian.
Yeah.
Sometimes not treated fairly at all. And so
Yeah.
I have learned,
It's true.
yeah, I've learned a lot actually about each country by how he feels about it, not just about, white Western women. Of course, everybody's going to be nice to me. Now we made it to Pha That Luang, and it is a national symbol, a national monument of Laos, and it is stunning. It's believed to be as old as 3rd century AD, but it's been reconstructed a number of times simply because of foreign invasion, up until the 1930s, in fact. Now, to come in here, it's only 30,000 for foreigners again, very reasonable. But the problem is, the doors seem to be shut. We can't get in. So no one is really sure why the doors are shut, because it should be open, but it's not. The great thing about this place is, even if you don't go inside, you can view this from afar. It is stunning. A lot of Chinese tourists around here just waiting for the door to open. I think they believe it's going to open at some time. I don't know if it's closed for lunch, but we are hungry for lunch. So Alan is over there looking at some fruit. Are they still open? Are they? No. Oh, there's a little bit left. Hello? You're closed. All right, tomorrow. Well, I'm so sad about that because we wanted to take you to a place we went for lunch yesterday. All locals, like people on their lunch break, students. It was really great. It was buffet style. You get rice, two like dishes from the buffet, and some kind of dessert and water for 20,000.
Okay.
We can eat here. This looks good. All right, this place actually looks really great. Lots of options here, also in English. Good prices. Bye-bye. Now, I don't know if Laos has an official national food, but if they did, this would be it. If you've gone to Thailand, you might have tried it before. It's called Larb there, sometimes Lab, sometimes Larb, sometimes Lap. A lot of different names, a lot of different communities, and that's because although today we've got the borders of Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, you know, that really was, well, those lines were invisible before, and a lot of immigration, and so you can get different versions of food in different countries. But this is essentially a meat salad. It comes with mint, fish sauce, chili, and lime. It's like the 4 best flavors all in one dish. Now, traditionally, I think it's made with duck, but today you can get it with, in restaurants, mostly chicken or pork. You can also get it with beef. That's so good. I've been into it, chili. Hot days like this, it's refreshing. And it's not too heavy, and that's what I love about it. They give you rice to make it a little bit more sustaining, but I'm not gonna eat that because it's too hot. But then also what they do is, if you get this kind of lettuce on your plate and they give you some fresh herbs, it usually means the right thing to do is to put those things together, and then you just wrap it up and you eat it like this. That mint, so refreshing. That lunch was fantastic. Alan said the fried rice, just like in Thailand. He ranks it same. They're tied for #1 best fried rice outside of Indonesia. The next place we want to go to closes at 4, and it's 3 o'clock right now. So you want to catch up before it closes, because I think it's really important to see if you're going to be traveling Laos. So that is where we're headed next, and then it will be coffee time. Now, the reason we're here today at the Cope Center is that Laos is actually the most heavily bombed country in the world. And you would think, wow, I don't remember being there, some kind of crazy war. Well, the war was not here, but in fact in Vietnam. And so the United States actually bombed the hell out of Laos. In fact, there's still a lot of active bomb shells everywhere. A lot of people make the shells into arts and crafts and things, but this is the center where you go to learn a little bit about it. And so I thought it would be good for us as we start to travel the country, because in some areas you can't even hike because it's too dangerous. Bombs are still there that have not exploded. And so, you know, I think having spent time in Vietnam, the American government really tried to make reparations to Vietnam. They have a good relationship, but I don't know if the same happened here in Laos. And so now they just have all of these dangerous areas that people can't live or even travel through. So right here is just a little bit of information. It says from 64 to 73, the US dropped over 2 million tons of ordnance over Laos in 580,000 bombing missions, equivalent of 1 plane load every 8 minutes, 24 hours a day for 9 years. So as we walk through here and we hear that, what a horrifying thing to think a country was bombed that heavily, hadn't even done anything. But all I can think about right now is Gaza has to be the most heavily bombed region. People dead, children dead. They also did nothing. And it's like we're living through this again. And you'd think by now people would be shocked and do something, but they're not. This place is really great actually at explaining what happened. Over 80 million bombs after the war still existed, and why did the United States bomb Laos? And that's because it was part of the supply route for the northern Vietnamese, and they were doing whatever they could to stop it, including bombing a country not involved in the war. And so today, after the war, 80 million bombs they hadn't exploded. And so still today, those bombs exist. And so rice field farmers, if they hoe or till their land, if they hit a bomb, it goes off. Children find these little small metal balls, they're playing with them. Also, if people are cooking and there's something underneath, it also sets it off. And so although 3,000 people a day are now clearing the land and casualties are going down, they have a lot of people here who are basically amputees. They are still dealing with this. The number of amputees that need help. They say 15,000 people are survivors, but they need support. And so the program also really focuses on that. Oh, this is actually really cool. All of the things in the house that they make, made from cluster bomb casing. A cooking pot made from parachute flare casing. This table, same thing, from parachute flare. A cowbell made from a mortar shard. This is a household lamp that they made from mortar. That was a must visit. Really so interesting. To be honest, I had no idea about cluster bombs. And you hear something like, oh, this country is the most bombed country, and you don't really think about it. And then you just see the aftermath of what they've been going through. They have accomplished so much. And just the ingenuity of actually using all of this leftover metal, into making it other things is just so admirable. I've heard that as we travel the country, we will see this. We will see some of these things turned into other things. But also, I've heard if there are places where they say you cannot go, you definitely cannot go because you just don't know. I mean, people are tilling their fields and hitting bombs. There's still so much that they need to get rid of. Anyway, sobering and inspiring at the same time. We have one more stop. I think we're gonna drop off the bike and then we're gonna walk down to the Mekong River because we have not seen it yet. Of course, we're gonna see tons of it during this trip, but we did wanna see it here because we heard it was, a really beautiful spot to end the day. We just dropped off the bike and this is the best smelling time of the day. Everyone is preparing for the night street food. It smells so good. We've just popped around the corner and I saw this woman. Look how good this is. Oh my goodness, all of this, that fish smells so good. And then she has so much more here. We've got chicken, pork, so many delicious things here that are gonna be sold tonight. Or it might be sold right now. So you can see right here, this is the Mekong River night market. It's very famous, but it's mostly for tourists. So actually we are not going here tonight. Don't want to spoil it, but the next video we're going to share with you actually is a night market. We're going to squeeze one in, but in our neighborhood, there is a local night market. So this one is mostly tourist area, which is fine. There will be more English, it's easier for people. I heard it's fantastic, but also we are staying 20 minutes away. So we're not going to go back down to the river. We're actually going to go to the one we saw last night. Lots of locals, not a lot of traditional food in some areas, but actually what locals eat, what they come out to eat at night. So I'm really excited about it, but this one also looks good. We don't have time to do both of them. Not this time. Next time we come to this city. Look at all the ATMs here competing for your attention because right here is the night market and they only accept cash. But don't worry, banks here with crazy charges will take care of you. All right, so we made it to the Mekong. It is way over there. actually. It looks like they don't really have like a riverfront where they have cafes and restaurants. Alan kept asking me, he said, are you sure there are coffee shops and things? And I said, oh yeah, I'm sure. It's a riverfront, of course they will have that. But they don't at all. And that might just be due to the geography and the soil here that it can't support that. Anyway, so guys, this is the end of the video.